it's Brendel, and today we're going to be doing our April budget. I did make this kit. I had made some changes to the March one, some formatting little issues that I didn't like, and I'm so happy with how this one turned out. I did go with a little bit of purple for April. It's my mom's favorite color, and April is her birthday month, so very excited to do that for her. So we are going to start out with income, and we combined our income on here. Right now, Matt is the only one working, but I did get a new job. I don't start until April 11th, so I'm very excited about that. We did not include any income from my new job in April because I'm not sure when my payday is and what everything will shake out to be after taxes, 401k, you know, all of that sort of thing. So now we're going to move into our fixed expenses, and these are ones that don't change every month. So first we have our mortgage. Next we have phone, garbage, life insurance, internet, Netflix, and Hulu. I'm not sure if you can hear it, but it is super windy today, and we have trees around us and they are just swaying back and forth, and I'm just like, please do not fall. Please do not fall. Next we have our variable expenses, which include our sinking funds and groceries. Last, restaurant. And then at the bottom here we have savings. So now we're going to enter in our numbers. So we have combined income, and we expect to bring in at least $3,200. Our mortgage is $1,181. Our phone bill is $137. Garbage, which is sewer and garbage, is $79. Life insurance is $38. Internet is $30. Netflix is $10. We did finally get the announcement that ours is going to go up in April, so we can be budgeting the right amount. Next we have Hulu is $1. And that brings up our total fixed expenses to $1,476. And then for our variable expenses, we have our sinking funds that we are going to contribute $999. Groceries, we are going to stick with $550. And then next for restaurant, we are also keeping at $75, which these two amounts are what we've been doing for the year, and they've been working out pretty well. Next we have total variable expenses, which comes out to $1,624. And then if you take our budget of $3,200 minus our fixed expenses of $1,476 minus our variable expenses of $1,624, that leaves a potential savings of $100. With my new job that I'm getting, we are going to be able to put a lot more in savings, which will be nice, and contribute to a Roth IRA. I'm still going to contribute to my work's 401k, but I'd also like to contribute to my Roth IRA as well. So that's kind of the breakdown of our April budget, and now we're going to dive into the sinking funds that has a total of $999. So this is our sinking fund sheet, and I already filled in the categories. And since I'm filming this a little after the start of April, I do already have our beginning balances, which are the ending balances for March. So that is a little different than normal. I have a few different columns than you may see in other videos of other budgeting people. So I put our beginning balance, and then I put what we budget to put into each category. And then I have an actual for what we put at the end of the month, because what we decide in the beginning of the month may not be what we add at the end. Usually we end up adding more to a few categories if we get more income, but if you watch my March recap, you'll see that we did remove some money from one of the categories. So keep an eye out for that video to kind of see what I'm talking about. But for now, we will go into what that $999 is going towards in April. So for Amazon, we are not contributing towards. For auto insurance, we are also not contributing. We are set up for all of our auto insurance for this year. Next, we have auto maintenance, and you can see we used all of it last month, so we are putting in 100. Next, we have beauty, which we are adding 136. Car tabs, we are not contributing towards. Clothes, we are each getting 50. Next, we have Costco, and that is fully funded. For dogs, we are adding 75. For electric, we're adding our average of 90. And that's our average for over the year. It comes out to about $90 a month. Entertainment, we are adding 30. We have fitness, we are not contributing towards, and we're not contributing towards furniture either. For gas, we are adding 200. Gifts, for both Christmas and in general, we're not contributing towards. HOA is fully funded. We're actually waiting for a payment to go through for that one. Home extras, we are adding 40. Home improvement, we are adding 50. Hunting and outdoors, we are not contributing towards. For medical, we are adding 50. And then for office supplies, we are adding 70. Matt has had a few books that he's wanted to get, and we'll put it a little extra in the office budget, and then I'll end up spending it. So we put extra in. He's already ordered his books, so they'll come out first, and then we can just work with what we have left over, or I can work with what we have left over. For technology, we are adding 40, and vacation, we are not adding anything towards. And our water bill is quarterly, and we're adding 18. That's what it averages out to each month. It's actually due in April, so we'll see a spent amount for that. And so if you add up all of these, they come out to $999. So that is what our sinking funds break out to for April. Next, we are going to look at the paycheck breakdown. And for this, I've already transferred over my budget. I was thinking ahead, and we are only expected to receive 2 paychecks for the month, in the first half, and then in the second half, a bi-monthly pay schedule. And so we will split our income into these 2 categories of $1,600 in the first half and $1,600 in the second half for the second paycheck. And I changed this to just say paycheck 1 and paycheck 2. This holdover amount we will go over later. We'll go through all of our fixed expenses to determine which paycheck period we're going to put them in. So first we have mortgage, and if we flip over to this calendar view, we have mortgage at the bottom. It's due at the end of the month. We're actually paying for May's. We can see our paydays are right here on the day before the 1st and then on the 15th. So theoretically we could put our mortgage all on that second paycheck, but I did it last month and I kind of liked it this month. We are going to split it. So for the first paycheck, we're going to save $590, and then the second one we will save the remaining $591. Then for the phone bill, that is at the end of the month. Again, all of these bills are paying for ones that are in May. They're right near the beginning of May, and we get the bill actually in April. So I just kind of like to pay them and get them out of our checking. So for phone, we will put in the second half. And for sewer and garbage, we have, let's see, that is on the 18th. And I feel like I should put the day that we receive the bill, because even though it's due on the 18th, we normally pay it before, so we are going to put that in the first half. Again, as soon as we get the bill, we just like to pay it. Next, we have life insurance, and that happens on the 15th or around the 15th, so we are actually going to pull it from the first half just to make sure that it is ready. Internet, it's flipped here. Oh yeah, that's at the end of the month, so we'll put that in the second half. For Netflix, that again is on payday, and it is automatic. Same with life insurance, that's automatic as well. But you never know if something will happen with your paycheck and it gets pushed. Some clerical errors. For us, we always like to make sure we just have that money ready. So we'll put that in the first paycheck as well. Next we have Hulu. That is down on the 25th. Actually, I think it's the 24th, but I put it onto that Monday because that's probably when it'll come out. And so that'll go on the second paycheck. So now for the fixed expenses, we're going to want to add up these for the first paycheck and for the second paycheck. So this adds up to $717, and then the second paycheck will have $759 being held for it for our fixed expenses. And to double check that you've done this correctly, you can add these two and make sure that they add up to this total fixed expenses. Kind of a double check there. So next, we're going to drop down to our variable expenses, and we have a couple things here. We have our electric bill, which I do put in our sinking funds, but it is a monthly bill. So we're going to pull that from savings in that first paycheck because it is due on the 14th, so it will come out of our first check, and it was $92. So next we have auto maintenance, and this is for Toyota Connect. I have the app that allows me to remote start my car from my phone, make sure all the windows are up, doors are locked, where it's located. It gives you all of that information, and that's due in April, and it is $60, and we're just going to pull it from the first half so it's ready for when it comes out. And then for gas, if you look at our sinking funds, we have this $200 plus this $69.63, and so I technically could pull this full amount for the first half, but I am just going to take that $200 just so we have it. Matt's truck takes a lot of gas, so I like to just have the full amount so it is there and ready. Next we have groceries. This one I go back and forth on pulling the full amount in your first paycheck or splitting it, and I think for this month we're going to split it and take $300 for the first half. I do like to do a grocery stock up from Costco at the beginning once they have their new Costco sales. It hasn't happened yet. I think the previous sales just ended on Sunday, so we should be getting the new booklet here soon. And then for a restaurant, we also pull that in the first half, so we can go out whenever we would like. Then we'll go over to sinking funds, and if we take all of this that we've already pulled, then the remaining amount is what we'll take in the second paycheck. So this $991 minus $200 minus $60 and minus $92 equals $647. And then for groceries, the remaining from our budget is $250 to go to the second paycheck. And there's nothing left for restaurant. And so for total variable expenses, we add all this up for the first paycheck, and it is $727. And for the second paycheck, it is $897. So now if we take 1,600 minus our total fixed expenses minus our total variable expenses, that will give you a balance of 156. And that's the amount that needs to be held over plus the second paycheck to cover the remaining budget. So we will move that to holdover. So next, we go through and we have our fixed expenses are done, our variable expenses are done, but then we have savings, and we normally transfer that at the end because it usually changes. We hope it always goes up, not necessarily, but usually it does. Sometimes life happens and we have to end up using it throughout the month, but we like to just do it at the end. I know it's a little opposite. A lot of people like to pay yourself first, but we like to see how the month goes and then just make one transfer instead of transferring at the beginning of the month, seeing how it goes, and either transferring more at the end or having to pull it back out. Is just easier for us if we just do it in one lump. So then if we take our paycheck 2 plus our holdover amount, subtract out our total fixed expenses in the second column and our total variable expenses minus our savings, that will give us 0, which is the same as our budget here. And that means we've allocated our budget for the month of April. Thanks for hanging out and going over our budget for April and our sinking funds and our paycheck breakdown. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. I appreciate you for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye!